Guys, welcome back. We are here with Allona Cherie TV. What is good?
How are you?
I'm actually I was just right before we started recording. I just woke up, so maybe 40 minutes ago. So I still got the coffee popping. We still waking up. We don't have Folgers out here, so it can't go with that jingle. But
That's right. So you got some Folgers, but never mind.
no Folgers around here. I'm actually really excited because I've wanted to collaborate with you for a really long time. I think the first time I saw you was on, I think it was one of the webtoon reaction videos. Yeah. I was like, oh, there's other people. This is dope. So that definitely, I was like, okay, this is fire. So like, how long have you been doing like reactions and reads and stuff like that? Like, how long you been doing that for?
I've been reacting probably since Dragon Ball Super days. Like, so I think it's like the tail end of it all. And then I had just started. And then I got hit with the good old copyright strikes. So then my first channel was taken down.
Oh,
and then I restarted it.
Oh, so you had a channel before?
Yeah, YouTube.
Oh, no, oh, that sucks.
I mean, I was terribly mad, but I look back and
I would be
just a
mad.
Trial.
You said it was a trial? You used it as a trial run?
Yeah. I try to make myself feel better that way, you know?
Okay, fair enough. I mean, the copyrights is crazy. And it's one of those things, too, that I've learned that it's kind of just luck.
It's fact.
Kind of just luck. And I'm just like, hold on. So certain channels can get away with a lot of stuff, and then others can't get away with anything. So I was
nothing.
That's what we're doing right now. Okay. So okay. So why Dragon Ball Super? Why reactions? Like what was it that was just like, I want to do this?
Well, okay. So see what happened was, look, I'm a very expressive type person. Like I can watch TV and I'm like talking to the TV, getting mad at the characters and stuff. So it was like my husband was like looking at me like, girl, if you don't shut up. He's like, why don't you just do reactions? Like, and I'm like, what?
Okay.
He's like, you just talk so much. Why don't you just do reactions?
Hey, how would you do that with other people? And that's great.
Yes, and not me.
Yo, that's comedy. Yo, that's hilarious.
I was like, man, bump you too. Fine then. I'll find me some people who don't mind me talking. So, that's what happened. I was watching Dragon Ball Super before, like just highlights of different people reacting. And I was like, I mean, I feel like I'm different. I didn't see anybody in the space that looked like me.
Right.
I felt as if the only girl that I saw was Shira from your boy Roshi. That, you know, melanin, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, there's not many of us. And I just know there's so many more females that don't kind of fit the kind of like super, you know what I'm saying? Like nerdy, like we're nerds, but we don't, if you just look at us, you probably wouldn't say, like the mold, right? The typical. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to see if there's other people that probably just don't come out. Because a lot of times, I know for me growing up, when I would talk about anime, like my homies be like, you watching them damn cartoons? I was like, it's not cartoons, it's anime, you jerk. Like,
yo, that's real question. When did you graduate?
2007.
Okay, so yeah, you're in the same time that I was in. So yeah, anime was, I think people don't realize that there was a point in time which it was not cool to be watching anime. It wasn't the thing. But everybody was watching it, come to find out, which really pissed me off afterwards.
Well, none of my friends did. It's still now. They were like, girl, what is you doing? My brother did. So I would talk to my younger brother. But again, I grew up in Japan. So.
Hold on. Time out. You grew up in Japan?
From 4th grade all the way up to like my 10th grade year. I lived in Okinawa.
So you speak Japanese?
I'm not fluent. Don't get me wrong. I ain't fluent now, but I know how to put my sentences together, get my ass around.
What? Yo, that's fire.
Mm-hmm.
So my best friend, he's a quarter Japanese. Like he has lineage in Japan. Like he has like family and like a family crest and like the whole thing. Like, so yeah, that's Toshi on the Cyber Hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Toshi, he's a quarter Japanese. So he has like family. His grandmother is like this little small Japanese lady. She's super cute. But yeah. Cool. Super fire. Super fire. So yeah, I was very what's the word? I was very surprised when I found out that he was actually out there. Like he had family out there, but I didn't know that there was other people that I am an acquaintance of that lived in Japan. So this is actually kind of fun. So what brought you out here? Was it like military or?
Oh, my dad was in the Marine Corps. So we had got stationed there for all those years. I was actually supposed to graduate there, but my dad had got called back stateside. So that's why we had to come back the beginning of my 11th grade year, which was terrible.
Got it.
I did not like it.
What was it? So you went from Japan to where?
Here, Virginia.
So Virginia. Here. Got it.
Yeah.
What about, I mean, VA is pretty dope, but what about it going from, I mean, maybe going from Okinawa to Virginia was I mean, it was so just like, why didn't you ever go back? Why wasn't it, is it just?
Well, it's just, first of all, I came here, still in high school. Mm-hmm. My plan was to eventually go back, but then I met my husband. We started having kids, popping them out like every year. Goddamn, it seemed like. Right. And then I just got settled. He's in the Navy as well, so then I was here. He got stationed here for like a couple years. Then we had to move to Memphis, Tennessee, and they were down south for a couple years. Then we came back, and we've been here since.
Got it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk about this really quick. So, growing up, you watched anime. Obviously, that was big in Japan. That's like
everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere.
So, what, like in Japan when you were growing up, like what was the animes that people were on, like, or was it mostly manga, or is it a lot of anime as well?
See, I wasn't big on manga. Like I was just watching anime when I was still overseas. So Naruto was out. Right. That was very popular. Of course, Dragon Ball. Sailor Moon was legit everywhere.
Really?
When I say Sailor Moon was everywhere, when you go to Japan, especially Okinawa, I'm only going to speak for Okinawa because that's where I was. We had like Dragon Palace and Sega World.
Sega World?
Yes, Sega World was the spot. The Seaball was right there, man. We got
what?
So much stuff happened there.
Okay, all right.
Yes. So it's like this, so many floors of video games, picture booths, Dance Revolution type stuff.
Right.
And everything, right? So when you go to like the picture booths area, it's like all you see is like Sailor Moon on the sides of the kiosks. And when you take the pictures, you can do like the glittery picture stuff and like draw on them. So when they print out, it's like glittery and stuff like that, which I thought every place had. When I came back stateside, it was not like that at all. It's just something special for Japan only. But they're legit everywhere. Like posters for Sailor Moon was everywhere. When you walk to different areas, they'll have like other shows that I wasn't too familiar with at the time.
Right.
So they'll have those posted everywhere, but Sailor Moon was very much everywhere. It was pretty cool.
And that was like, so was that like one of your favorites growing up? Was Sailor Moon or?
Yes, I am Sailor Jupiter reincarnated.
Oh dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what's crazy? Like Sailor Moon was definitely popular out here on like Toonami. Mm-hmm. But it didn't have, I think with at least a lot of boys didn't have a lot of sticking power. Like we had, like it was like Tuxedo Mask was really the only person that people were like, ooh, like, but it didn't keep me to keep watching the show. It was like I would jump in it every once in a while, but I actually haven't seen Sailor Moon from start to finish. Like I haven't watched. So I haven't watched it. Maybe I should. I'm not sure, but
I mean, it's really girly. It's really cute. It's like girl power all throughout it. So if you're gonna watch it, just go with the intentions. That's what it's gonna be.
Okay. So was there anything, because I didn't even realize this until I think maybe till last year, actually. There's in the States they had these dubs called 4Kids dubs.
I didn't know about that either.
So when somebody was like, yo, you should watch Yu-Gi-Oh! I was like, I'm not watching Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. And one of my guys, so if I'm not sure if you know, I'm a part of a film team called Ismahawk. So if you ever looked on like Webtoon's YouTube channel and seen like their live action trailers that they've had on there, I don't know if you've seen those. We produced those, like we made those for them.
Oh, that is dope stuff.
Thanks, appreciate it. So one of the guys in Ismahawk, he's the director. His name's Danny Shepard. He always I always talking about One Piece, and he always goes back to the stupid 4Kids dub intro song. It's like yayo, and I was like, what? Anytime I would say something about One Piece, he would bring up this song. Like, what is that? Like, what is that? And he was like, oh, the 4Kids dub. I was like, the 4Kids dub. Come to find out, Yu-Gi-Oh! When I saw it, was the 4Kids dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! So it wasn't even like the real Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, and I didn't even watch all of it. Right. I didn't know that what I was because I didn't watch the entire series either, because it was just really like, So
that wasn't my jam either. It wasn't my jam either.
At all. But from what I heard is the actual Japanese anime Yu-Gi-Oh! Is way darker. Like it's a completely different vibe.
Yeah. I heard the same thing. I was like, because they were asking me, was like, what shows did I remember growing up or that I liked? And I was like, I was a Digimon girl. I really didn't care about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Digimon, okay.
So I was like, when Yu-Gi-Oh! Came on, I was like, next. Where's Digimon? Where's Pokemon? Like, I didn't sit down to watch it.
Yeah, I didn't. The card thing was cool. But there was something about that I was like, I think I'm a
Was it like cheesy, or was it just like boring? Honestly, was it exciting enough?
I don't know. I think it might have been the dub itself that just made it feel dorky. Like it just felt
like the voices, maybe.
It felt super corny. I was like, why does this feel so corny? It was
yes.
Cheesy. I couldn't do it. I was like, yo, this is really corny. I was like, I don't know if I could do this. But I knew a lot of people that liked it though. I knew a lot of people that actually liked Yu-Gi-Oh! And I just couldn't get into it. But I was like a Dragon Ball kid, so I was like, if Dragon Ball's on, that's all I watched in high school. That's like I would go home and just watch Dragon Ball.
Watch it. But did Sailor Moon come on like right before? Because I remember
it came on right before.
Sailor Moon.
Right before, and I was like, I'm gonna hold off, and right when Sailor Moon's done, 5:30, I'm jumping. Or it was like 5 p.m. our time was when it dropped. So I had to like get my homework done. And then so I could watch it. That was like my Or I had to like record. I had to like put a timer on for my VCR so I could record the episode.
Our age is showing.
Yeah, I was like, I need to get my VCR and turn that thing on. So I like. That was so funny too, because I was always in sports, so not all the time was I home when the show would run. So then sometimes I didn't have the tape, like it didn't have enough room to record the episode, so it would record and it only recorded like a little bit of it. I'm like, what happened to this? That would drive me nuts. That would drive me I'd be so upset.
Gosh. No internet then, huh? To go back and try to watch it.
Yeah, there was no streaming at the time. It was just like, if you missed it, well, you gotta wait till that shit restarts.
Yeah.
See, did you? Okay, so question. Okay, that was one thing that I was telling people that would watch my stuff, because I started around the same time you did with reactions. Was actually during Dragon Ball Super. It was at the tail. Was it the tail end of it? I think it was probably close to the tail end of it that I started doing reactions, and like like theory videos and stuff because it was different from the manga. Like the manga and the anime they do different things. So so it was like, even though the storylines were similar, the arcs were the same, things would happen differently to get to a different end. So powers were different. So I was like, okay, like Kaioken Super Saiyan Blue didn't exist in the manga. It was perfected Super Saiyan Blue that was in the manga, and both Goku and Vegeta obtained it. So that was a different, it was, and that was like, that was during the Universe 6 tournament arc when Goku was fighting Hit. Yeah, that Kaioken Blue didn't.
How does that work?
It was just a different, it was like, I forgot how they explained it, but I think it was something to do with keeping the aura of blue, like, you know, they have like the Super Saiyan aura. It was like trapping it inside the body, and it like just made them like super composed, but it was like a big power up.
All right, question. Got a question then. Manga or the anime?
I like them for different things. I like the manga because there were certain things that I wish they would have done in the anime. Perfected Blue being one of them, but right before the Universe 6 tournament, Beerus fought all the gods of destruction as a demonstration of what the tournament would be like. And he uses Ultra Instinct against the other gods of destruction. Yeah, it's tight. Like, he bodies them. It's fucked up.
Way.
Yeah, it's
Beerus does?
Yeah, it's dope. Like, he doesn't, he himself hasn't perfected it. So, but he uses it, and like, he's just like saucing on these guys. It's actually really dope. It's a fire moment. I was like, man, I really wish that would have been in the anime. But yeah, there's different things that I wish. That would have been so crazy, because I love Beerus as a character. I think he's a dope character. But
yeah.
So, okay, so question. So does your husband watch anime?
Only when I watch it. I think I just got him started, like, really liking Attack on Titan. So Attack on Titan is like his warm-up show. He used to watch Dragon Ball, but even then it was just like he wasn't like into it.
Right.
So it's like he puts his toes in a little bit and is ticklish fancy. I did take him to see the Demon Slayer movie with me. And then after he watched the movie, he did come home and then binge watched the series just to know what the hell was going on.
Right. Okay, I have a question about this, because I feel like Demon Slayer has this very bifurcated audience. Either people love it or people hate it.
How can you hate Demon Slayer, though?
I don't know, but I think a lot of it came with the whole Crunchyroll Awards. When that happened, because like it got like Anime of the Year, and I think a lot of people were like, oh, what should have been Vinland Saga, and I think a lot of people just got really bitter about it, and people were like, oh, it's just good animation, it's not anything else. So your thoughts on Demon Slayer? Do you think it's overrated, or do you think it's rated?
I think it's overrated.
Okay.
I think it's rated, but I do see where people are coming from when it stands toe to toe with Vinland Saga.
Okay.
I felt like Vinland Saga was heat. Like, it had great animation for me, but I'm not ever like a big animation type of person, to be honest. Like, I'm more story driven. Like, if you have a good story, I'm good.
Right.
Your animation has to be at least regular. It doesn't have to be extraordinary, but you know what I mean. I actually like Vinland Saga's story a little bit more than Demon Slayer, but I never read any of the manga, so I'm just comparing them for what their first seasons were about.
Right.
So I can understand that, but both of them are equally great to me. But I think story-wise, Vinland Saga might have been my favorite.
Who is like your favorite character in Vinland Saga?
I love me some Thorkel. When I say I love me some Thorkel,
Thorkel's G. Thorkel's so G though. Like Thorkel is like Goku. Thorkel has that same like doofus
energy,
like doofus, super strong for no reason energy. Like he just wants to fight people. He just
fight.
I'm just like, oh, okay. Yeah, when I saw him uppercut a horse, I was like, okay, this dude's a problem. Like, you hit a horse like that, my man?
Yeah. I was like, I guess equal these hands for everybody.
Equal opportunity. like I don't discriminate. These hands, everybody can get it.
I loved it. I said, oh.
Okay, so for that, because that year we had... What came out that year? It was like Demon Slayer, Vinland Saga. I think there was another.
Was it Dr. Stone that came out that year?
I think Dr. Stone came out that year. I think Promised Neverland came out that year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, that first season was so good.
It was so good. I was so mad how they did it dirty the second season.
You know what was crazy? Okay, so I have a question. Did you read the manga at all for the Promised Neverland?
No.
No. Yeah, I hadn't read it either. I was fine up until a point with the second season because it just felt like it got to a point where I was like, hold on, this is it? Like it felt
confused,
very
right?
It wasn't necessarily confused. It felt like it got to a point where it's like, all right, we're just gonna finish it. Like it was like a speed ramp. I was like,
okay.
It just felt like there wasn't enough stakes involved. I was like, so y'all just break into this base like it's whatever. Okay, cool. Like there's just things that I don't know.
Didn't align correctly. I just felt as if I wanted to see more of the kids trying to make it on their own. And then all of a sudden we just get thrown into this whole new world.
Right.
And then trying to figure out how this society is. I mean, it was good. I think to me what really perturbed me was when they were in the bunker and then shit just went just all the way to the left.
Right.
I'm like, what? How did we get there? I was confused. So I'm gonna give it a try. Mm-mm.
So in that, because like there was things that I felt that didn't have payoffs. Like in film, there's like a saying of like, if you show a gun, you use it. So if you ever notice in any movie, anytime they focus a camera on something, whether it be a gun, a book, or whatever, it's usually because they're going to use it later. So in that, there was things, even in the bunker, like the help, they didn't explain what the help and all that stuff was about. Like there was just stuff that I was like, hold on, so are we gonna figure that out? Or
who were these kids that were asking for help? Like, were they kids before them? Like, I was so mad. That's when I say I'm big on story, that pissed me off. I was like, you gave me this material. Where is it?
It was wild too, because I think for me, I'll ask you this in a second because I think this is a whole other conversation. But for me in that, I was like, you know what, because I had heard that people were upset about how the manga had ended. So they wanted to do something a little different for the anime. So they were saying they're going to, you're going to skip a certain arc and go into this arc in the anime. So I was like, all right. And people were like, oh my God, they're doing the second season terrible. They skipped like the best arc, blah, blah. And I was like, well, maybe there's a reason why they did this. Maybe they're going to utilize the other arc as like flashback moments. And
yeah.
Because, as an adaptation, you can do that. You have flexibility of saying, okay, well, we want to reference this here because we think in an anime it would be better suited to do it this way.
Agreed.
And we just never got that. I was waiting for like a moment to happen for them to like say, oh my God, this reminds me of this. And then it goes into this other, and it just never got there. And I was like, what? No. And I remember me and Toshi were like, y'all didn't do, like, y'all had this amazing first season. And then the second season was like, okay, we're here. How did we get here? Because I want to know how we got to this point. And y'all never explained it ever in the entirety of you to say, oh, yeah, it's been a year since we left, blah, blah. Yeah. But there was, I don't know, I just felt like it just did it a disservice. But
It did. It did. I was so sad. I was so looking forward to watching it. I don't think I've been finished. I think I got to a certain point.
Oh wow.
I think it was just uh when Boy showed back up. I'm like, really?
Oh,
How? Norman, what's his name?
Norman. Yeah.
I said, where the hell he come from? Like, how? How? Like, and then I'm like, you know what? Jesus, take the wheel. I'm a clock out because now I'm frustrated.
She said, Jesus, take the wheel. Okay, so I think for me, even in that, like, it felt like looking back in hindsight, it didn't feel earned.
No.
You know, like it was just like, oh, we're okay. Like I was surprised, like, oh, what the? I was like, he's back. I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. But then after watching it, I was like, that didn't feel earned at all. It just felt like they wanted him in there because it was a shock moment in the anime.
I just didn't feel like it was the right time for that. Like it was just no build up. I just felt like it's all right. You're just watching it. They're running. Boom. There he is. Look at him.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Make me want him. Make me yearn for him.
Right.
That's what, like, blah.
I think that was the thing too. Like to your point, I think that feeling of there was no like all is lost moment that made me feel like, okay, Norman's the only person that could have gotten them out of this scenario. It definitely, it was. Yeah, I agree. So that was definitely a letdown for sure. So, okay, reactions. What do you think so far for yourself was like your favorite series to react to?
To be honest, I will say One Piece is my favorite.
Okay.
Hands down. I love my One Piece community. I love them because, like, I think with One Piece is more so of, it has this like fighting moments, but again, it's world building for sure. It's so freaking big. So it's like you come up with theories, you guys can talk to each other, ideas be bouncing off of each other. I like that feeling. Yeah. So I would definitely say One Piece for reacting wise is definitely my favorite for sure.
Yeah, One Piece is, I mean, that's a goat. One Piece is a goat. I actually don't react to One Piece. You
watch it though, yeah?
Yes. Every week. Okay. One Piece is the goat. Like, I think that's one of the things that, for me, because I do so much stuff online, I needed to figure out what things are content and what things aren't. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't want everything that I do have to go through a filter of, should I do this for content or not? Certain things I just want for myself. And I was like, you know what? Relax. I like One Piece, and for whatever reason, anytime I did a One Piece reaction, it always got copyright claimed. So I was like, you know what?
Really?
You know what? I'm good. I was like, you know what? I'm good. Let me just, I don't need this. I don't need it. So let me just watch it on my own. I can chill in bed and watch it on my iPad, or, you know, like I could just chill and watch it. You know, we're good.
I feel you.
So I was, and at one point I was like, oh, maybe I'll keep it as a Patreon exclusive. And I was like, you know what? Like, I just want One Piece for me right now. Like, I just want to just watch it for me and maybe do like talks about it with people in the community. Yeah. But watching it, I was like, maybe I should watch it on my own. I think the funnest, the most enjoyable anime that I've reacted to, that every time I turned on, I was like locked in, was Haikyuu. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love those boys.
Absolutely love that anime. Like,
yes.
Haikyuu is it's such a feel good, like, and if I think people, if they like, I played sports my whole life, so training and like all that, and then even when I went into dance, like training and all that stuff, and then going into business, and it's the same principles, right? Like even like on YouTube, like the principles are still the same to like success or succeeding or persevering or developing skill over like your natural talent. So that series I was all about it. Like, I didn't care about the views. I didn't care about nothing. I just like, I'm watching it. I was just in it. I just loved that series. It was so good. So that was, I think, my favorite to Honestly, it's yeah. Hinata and I like Hinata and Kageyama's their relationship is just there's something about it that I thoroughly enjoy. It's like a real friend rivalry. Mm-hmm. Like they look, I'm trying to be better than you, but I want you to win at the same time. Like I want you to win, but I'm smoking you to understand that. Like there's just something about that.
I just love them. Yeah. They're so good.
Yeah, I like that. And I think a close second to me was Tower of God. I absolutely loved Tower of God. That was my vibe. Like, because, you know what? Okay, so I have a question. Because for me, when me and Toshi were watching it, because we read it every week. But it feels like a cross between Hunter x Hunter and One Piece to us. Like, it feels like you have like this adventure-esque vibes of Hunter x Hunter, but then you have like this ridiculous connectivity like One Piece, where it's like, hold on, this connects to what? And you're just looking back, it's like it has really good world building.
Yes.
Like One Piece, sure. Like I feel like it's inspired by both of them. And then you see like character designs from other animes in it. Like Zoro's character design is in the show. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's respect.
Zoro, I was like, oh, how they do my boy like that?
Yeah, they had that. They had a Star Wars character in there. They had, and I thought it was cool. I was like, yo, I respect that. That's a dope situation.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was actually really funny.
When I first saw Zoro, I think it was in the anime. I was like,
yeah,
that ain't what I think they trying to do. I was like, I felt offended because like, see Zoro's always right here.
I see him. I see him.
I was like, I know they ain't doing my boo like that. He does not look.
Oh no! So okay, so do you read? I know you read Tower of God, and we'll get into that in a second. Do you read One Piece or do you just watch it?
No, I just do the anime. I have tried to go like from the beginning and kind of like read, because they said a lot of stuff that is not stated in the anime that I should just go read in the manga, because sometimes there's different gems that only the manga readers know. So I was like, well, let me go back and read, but I haven't picked it up in a while. I probably should, but life.
Okay, so I have to ask you, what's your favorite arc in One Piece?
Okay, I get asked this quite often, and don't get mad at my answer. Okay,
I'm not. Why would I get mad at your answer?
I just said this because I don't pick an arc. I can't pick an arc because I feel as if every arc sets up for the next arc success.
Fair enough.
So, like a lot of people were saying how they hated Thriller Bark, or I'm like, how can you hate Thriller Bark? Because Thriller Bark kind of sets things up for, where Big Mom came in, you know what I'm saying? And then even here now in Wano, it's like, without Thriller Bark, we wouldn't have these impactful moments that we have with these other arcs down the line. Even Skypiea, some people said Skypiea was one of their least favorite. I'm like, how can you hate Skypiea? I feel like we learned about the bell. We learned about like the different, like the people with the wings and stuff. Like, how can you hate Skypiea? They help each arc further down the line, because that makes it more impactful when you watch. Like, oh my gosh, they said that here. So I can't pick a favorite. I feel like all of them are necessary.
Okay, all of them are necessary. If you were so what do you feel had the most impactful moment to you though? Like we were just like, oh geez, like
forward.
I think that's undeniable. I think that's universal. Besides Marineford, because I know Marineford is usually a default for that. Just had so many gut wrenching moments. So
yeah,
in a matter of a few episodes, you're just like, what's going on?
Punched.
Yeah.
Dressrosa.
Ooh, Dressrosa was good. Dressrosa had some moments for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I really you know what's crazy with Dressrosa? I really started to love Doflamingo and then immediately started to hate him. Like he was just I love characters that make me do that though. That I'm like, ooh, and then I'm like, I hate your ass. Like, there's just something about that just makes me happy. I don't know why that makes me happy, but it's almost like what's her name from Game of Thrones? Cersei. It's almost like a Cersei character. Where Cersei is like, I loved her and I hated her at the same time.
The same time. That is like, fact.
You know, like, I'm like, ugh. Doflamingo was like that for me, where I was like, I love this character, but I really don't like you. Like,
I really didn't like. I don't like him, but I understood him. I think that's what bothers me. Is like when you have these bad characters, and they introduce them as bad characters, but then they give you the backstory. It's like, I understand where you come from, but I still hate your ass. Like,
facts. I'm just like, nah, man. Like, don't try to make me like you, bro. I don't want to like you right now, bro. Don't do that. Yeah, that.
Get on my nerves.
I think honestly, Wano has been probably my favorite outside of Marineford.
Ooh.
I think the first off is the aesthetic. I love like the water pastel-y, like that art style is really cool. I love how they change like the commercial music to fit the aesthetic of the like. There's just stuff that I'm like, I appreciate those things. I'm like, you know what, that's really fire. But I loved how they utilized Oden to connect. Like, he was so vital to the story as a whole.
Hell yeah.
I was like, yo, what? Like, they do that. They've done that so well. So I'm like, I think for me right now, outside of Marineford, this might be my favorite overall when it comes to like aesthetic moments, character connection. They just tied it up so well. Like, and then the recent episodes of all the okie dokes that have happened, and I was like, what? Like, I was like, I hate you. I really don't like you, bro. I was like, I really don't like you, bro. Like,
yes. Did you watch the latest episode?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow. How did you feel at the end of the episode?
I was mad. I was like, bro, you
pissed off too.
I was like, Luffy, you fly, bro. You better go get him. I was
knock his ass off that stork.
I was like, bro, you fly. Somebody needs to. I'm like, what's going on? Like, there's a couple people that could take that dude out right now. What's going on? Why are you letting him fly away?
Where's Law? Where is freaking Law at? I was like, change places with these darn raindrops.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I was like, bro, didn't you just use an ability the last episode?
I was so annoyed.
Yo, that shit.
I know they let this mofo go. Like, I just know they did not. And even then, I was like, where's Shinobu ass go? We didn't see her not one time in that goddamn episode.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed. You should have saw my face.
Yeah, you know what is crazy is this is another arc that make me end up hating somebody, and that's the short little dude, the emperor dude. I keep forgetting his name.
Orochi?
Yeah, Orochi. I want to choke him for real. Like, I'm not even a violent person, but like, if I ever see you on the street, if I ever see you on the street, it's a problem. I promise. I do not like that guy at all.
But do you understand where he's coming from, though?
I understand where he's coming from, but at a certain point, it's like, how vengeful can you be? It almost seems like it almost gets to the point of like, all right, you got ostracized, like your whole clan got ostracized because of, like, it's almost like sins of your father, right? Like, that's basically what the whole thing is. It's like, oh, well, your daddy did this. Well, guess what? So it almost seems like he's doing the same thing that happened to him. Like, well, I'm going to take out your whole family, right? But it's the snakiness about him that I'm like, you trash, bro. Like, you're not even dope. Like, you're like a weasel. You know, like,
you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of like a mesh between Wario and Waluigi.
You built like Wario.
It's built like Wario. But it's like I just every time I look at them, like, they just put the Mario Brothers in one character, right?
That's exactly what they did. I'm like, yo, you look ridiculous. There's just something about him I just don't like. He just has this weasel personality, and I just don't like that. Like, you sneaky. Like,
don't hate me.
I
Orochi is the scum between our toes. I agree. But what I was asking is to like my peoples is like, yeah, the granddaddy did some foul stuff, but then we had these heroes of justice going around torturing the rest of Orochi's family, right?
right. Well, killing him off.
So it's like, why didn't killed him off? So I was like, why didn't the Kozukis like say, heroes of justice, stop this shit. It's not nice. Like,
Right.
we already got the bad guy. Leave them alone.
Right.
So I thought with them not speaking up, then allowed space for Orochi to kind of like grow more vengeful. Because they never even spoke on it, even afterwards. Nobody said nothing about it. Right?
Nope.
So that actually led to that old hag, ugly looking woman, and the banjo Gigi, whatever his name is, to come in and then manipulate Orochi furthermore. So I feel that everybody had a hand into making Orochi who he is. Yes, he's grown enough to know what's right and wrong. But once you get fed poison and poison and poison, all you're gonna give is poison.
No, I'm with you. I feel like that's definitely one of those things of I want to know how they resolve, like what's the resolution? Because there's got to come a moment of I don't want to say reconciliation, I don't think that's the right word, but there's got to come a point at which some of these characters address what happened to his family, or he confronts them about what happened to his family.
Yeah.
Because really the only person that knows about that would have been the previous shogun would have known. But outside of that, most people don't really have that kind of reference. So,
correct.
But I think in that backstory, the whole Oden situation was so powerful to me. Like, because we saw him go in, have that conversation, and the next thing you know, he's outside dancing. You're like,
oh.
So in my head, I was like, yo, did they give him the smile? I thought they gave him like I thought they gave him like a smile, like prototype or something, because he was out there smiling and crying. Like even on the beach, he was crying and laughing at the same time. So I was like, yo, did they give him the smile, bro? Like, was he like the test subject for a smile? Because obviously we know everybody else in that city, in that town, got hit with the smile later on. So I was like, maybe they did something to him in there. But then when you come to find out later during the boiling situation, and you had the ninja chick was like, this was really what was going on. I was like, no way. He was like, I'm going to take the L just so I can make sure everybody's safe, right? Like, bro, Oden he's the one. That dude is super tight.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. I admired him, but I can say I did grow frustrated with him. A lot of those episodes of us not knowing, I grew frustrated.
Yeah. You're just like, bro, what are you doing?
More and more. Yes. It's like, well, you can whoop their ass. Like, what are you? You're Oden. Like, that's what are you waiting for?
You know what's dope though? I think for some people, the townspeople was like the audience surrogate in that moment of like, dude, like what? Why are you? Because they had that same reaction, like, why are you out here dancing, bro? Like you could be smacking right now. Like what's going on? But
that's right.
I loved that moment though, because I feel like even for me, I was like, it was infuriating. And then after the whole okie doke with him, was like, oh yeah, I lied to you, bro. Like we good. Like that was a joke. And now he want to throw hands. And then he ends up. So here's my question: do you think he would have beat Kaido? Because he got okie doke twice with Kaido, where somebody jumped in and it was distracted him in a moment. So do you think he would have actually beat Kaido without the distractions?
I think at that time where Kaido was, because I do have to take in consideration, that was like 20 something years ago. The Kaido that we see now wasn't necessarily the same Kaido that was then. So at that time, I think Oden definitely could have whipped his ass. Other people say no, but I think he could. I feel as if Oden had great teachers. He had Whitebeard. He was under Whitebeard for a minute. He was under Roger.
Yeah.
Shoot, Rayleigh was with him. Gabon was there with him. Like, I just feel as if he had so many people there.
Yeah.
That could elevate him. And then Kaido, he was there, but who was really challenging Kaido in that situation?
Right.
Nobody.
No, I'm with you. You know what I honestly wanted to see after I saw that flashback arc? I want to see a spinoff of Shanks and Buggy. I want to see that so bad.
That would be so good.
I was like, just give me like a spinoff arc of just Shanks and Buggy, and I'm good. Like, I just think Shanks is my favorite character in One Piece.
Is he?
He's my favorite character. The reason why is he has every time he shows up, he's saucy as hell. Like, nobody really wants to mess with Shanks. Mm-mm. Up until our knowledge, he has no devil fruit power.
None.
And he's one of the Yonko. He's respected by the military. The military don't even want problems with him, but they bring him in for stuff. Yeah. Like,
Shanks showed up to the Gorosei. I was like, hold up, bro. Who do you think you are?
Like, he's different. Like, Shanks is different. And anytime, like, you walked on Whitebeard's ship and threw down with him just for a second. Like, every time he shows up, it's an event. Mm-hmm. He ended up stopping the entire war by himself.
Yeah.
Like, Shanks is a problem. Like, Shanks is just and I like it because there's so much mystery about him. Like, you don't really know who Shanks is. True. You're just like, oh, same thing with Rayleigh. Rayleigh has that same, like, bruh. So when he popped up in that flashback arc and shut Marco down with a finger, I was like, oh no. I was like, you did not do my man like that. That was so dirty. That's so dirty. Rayleigh is crazy.
I love Rayleigh. He's one of my sugar daddies.
Oh. Not the sugar daddy. Not the sugar daddy. Nah, Rayleigh's dope. Who's like your favorites in One Piece? Like, who are the people that you like? I mean, Zoro's a problem. He's dope.
Zoro, I just love how he's able to get lost all the time. Isn't that with most men anyway?
Just get lost. Hey, what up, lost boy?
But I just love how he is like Luffy's right hand, and like even through tough situations, he's there to keep a level head.
Right.
And he knows how to keep the emotions at a respectful level. Like, even when Luffy was going against Usopp, like Zoro nipped that shit in the bud, bro. He was like, You a captain? I'm gonna need you to act like a captain. If not, I'm gonna leave, and then you're gonna be stuck here by yourself. So I feel as if like Zoro shows very good like just principles, and he looks good. His body look nice. You know, can't define that. He got a good body.
I respect it. I respect it.
He's a great swordsman.
Right.
And I do feel like Zoro has a lot of mystery too. That's probably why I like him. How did he who's his parents? I feel as if everybody has some type of like background story. And yes, we have like a little. I just feel like there's so much more to Zoro that we just don't know.
Yeah.
Same. And that's why I gravitate to him a little bit more. I just feel like his personality I can get behind. Like Usopp, I will say is my next favorite.
Usopp? Well, no. Wow. Okay.
But I think it's because I like him just off of the strength of how funny and realistic he is. Like when they do stupid, crazy stuff, Usopp's like, like, what are you doing? Like, no.
Right.
Usopp has me written all over that part. Like, y'all doing that? Bye.
He's like, no, I'm good. I've seen this movie before.
Yeah, so you want me to be the one that dies? Like me? Like, I'm gonna die. So Usopp is more so another realistic character that and then I'll say Robin. I love me some Robin too. But I love Luffy too. Luffy's like a given though. I think Luffy is naturally everybody's favorite. He's the main character. So I don't really count Luffy in there.
No, I agree. So for you, in most of the animes that you watch, is usually like the main character someone that you are usually your favorite, or do you usually do like
No.
Okay.
Because I suppose if liking the main character is a given to freaking liking the show. So I'll count the main character, but I feel as if it's already to be expected that you're going to like the main character. If you're here watching it, you're going to automatically love the main character. So I kind of usually choose somebody. And plus, a lot of the main characters, if you want to be for real, are all kind of like built around the same type of, I'm going to be this, or I'm going to be that, or I'm going to be number one, which is fine. But once you have so much of the same kind of ideals and the same type of drive, it's like, I've seen that, did that. What's next? You know?
Yeah, I agree. Naturally. I think in the shonen you have a lot of the story arc is called like a flat story arc. So I'll give you an example, like Naruto, Goku, Luffy. Those three, two of them have a goal, one doesn't really. Goku doesn't really have a goal. He's just like, I guess he just wants to fight strong people, but like it's not really a goal. It's just like that's like a mantra, right? Like, yes. But Goku doesn't have a goal. Well, Luffy does, Naruto does, but their personalities. I think people confuse. They confuse the idea of character development with character progression. So develop characters in
nice. Go ahead, boy.
So I mean, think of it like in Naruto. Like Naruto's development was nowhere near Sasuke's. It's not even close. Naruto was changing people to become more like Naruto. He was the constant in the story. Dragon Ball's the same thing. He's turning villains into partners, into allies. Luffy's the same thing. People conform to Luffy. He's the constant. So in a lot of these animes, that main character is that constant. Whether they may not be the most powerful, but they have the heart of the story that everybody kind of conforms to, right?
Correct.
So I think to your point, a lot of the most interesting characters are the ones that end up conforming and having that kind of aha moment because of the main character.
Yes. Agreed. For sure.
But yeah, but honestly, like a lot of times I default to the main character. I don't know why. I'm like, I like this character. Like it's as crazy as it is, like, or there be characters that have mystery. Like in Naruto, like Itachi to me, I was like, ooh, like Itachi's vibey. Like, cause you just didn't know what the hell was going on with this dude. Like, why is he so feared? What's going on? And then you finally get this backstory, like, oh yeah, he's crazy. Like, there's just something about that character. I was like, oh, that character's a vibe. So So in One Piece, I know like you obviously Zoro. Are there any villains that you were like, I like you? Besides Doflamingo?
It wasn't Dofi. I like him, but he's not like one of those villains. So I was like, hey, what up, Dofi? I don't know. I think, Marineford, well, I guess Akainu wouldn't be a villain. Or could he be considered a villain to Luffy?
Oof. I don't like Akainu at all. I hate that dude. There's something about him like, ooh.
I don't like him either, but I think I would, if I had to pick a villain that I was like, hey, I would probably say Akainu.
Okay.
I hate his guts, but still it's like,
Right.
But, or then, I would say Katakuri too, but Katakuri, is he actually a villain?
Yeah, see, that one was a tough one. Katakuri, I think
Katakuri is bae.
I mean, with that jaw covered up, yes. But as soon as that jaw is revealed,
I don't know. Look, when I saw his mouth get up, I said, "Hey, sir, how you doing?"
Yo, Katakuri. I feel like he's an antagonist, but I feel like he's more of like he's really neutral. I feel like he was doing stuff because of the scenario. And he's respectful, and he's not respectful. He's honorable.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. So I got a question for you, since we're talking about honorable.
Okay.
Do you think that in the fight between Katakuri and Luffy, that Katakuri allowed Luffy to win?
It's a really difficult question because I feel like because old girl stepped in, he was like, "Look, I'm gonna equal this out because she interfered in our fight, so I'm gonna equal this out." Because Luffy really couldn't hurt him like that because he hadn't developed that skill far enough to really combat with him. So, but I think once they got on that level ground, I think it got to the point of I don't think Katakuri had the will. I think it got to the point of like he was doing it because he was like, look, I'm that guy. But I don't think it was like he really wanted to be there. Like I don't think he was like, I need like you know what I'm saying? I don't think it was like I need to beat you. Like Luffy had a purpose of getting out of there. So right? So I feel like there was and Luffy just has that relentless vibe to him where he's like, I'm just going to keep pushing regardless. I don't think Katakuri was built like that. So I think he just kind of said, all right, dude, like you win. I honestly felt like to your point, like I think he just got over it. I think he was like, all right, cool. Like I don't want to keep doing this. You're like, and maybe we can fight seriously another time. Like it just felt like you're not going to stop.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I just feel like Katakuri in some way like looked at Luffy and just saw he had a great heart.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to just trash you like that. You can have it.
I wonder how he's going to play it into the future. Because there's, with how Big Mom and Kaido are now, how does Katakuri play into that? So I don't know how that's going to happen. But I think Luffy might body Katakuri. I think he might body him. It's because he knows how to use that particular hockey so much better now.
Situation.
Yeah, he uses it like it's no problem. Yeah. I was like, bruh, okay. And he got a huge strength buff in jail. So I was like, yo.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, my man, what's going on? Him and Kid got really like physically strong in that arc. So yeah, sure. I don't know, but I wouldn't consider Katakuri a villain though. I feel like he's a neutral. What I'm saying, like, I feel like he was more just not following orders, but it was a principle thing. Like, okay, like you mess with my moms, I'm gonna have to show what's up. But then I think to your point, he's like, but like you're really not a bad dude though. Like I don't really, and seeing his backstory and how much he was picked on and stuff like Katakuri's not really. He's not like he doesn't seem like an evil person at heart, anyways.
Correct.
So I don't know.
I don't. But yeah, those are my only ones. Then I can't really say because I can't stand Dofi still. Even though I got his backstory, I can't stand him. Now his character design
is fire,
and his personality is fire. I'm not going to take it, but I still ain't gonna like you.
No, for real. Yeah, I'm the same. I really don't like Blackbeard.
Oh, I hate his guts too, but I'm giving him an opportunity to so I can understand him. I'm not throwing him under the bus just yet. I feel as if there's so much more to know about Blackbeard for me to make my full assumption of him.
So, question: when you saw him in the Wano arc, like in the flashback, when he was on, So they were like, "Yo, he don't sleep. Like he actually doesn't sleep." They were like, like he's been up for 3 or 4 days. Like he don't sleep. And like what? He just had they were even like, "Yo, this dude is different. Like this dude is strange.
He's a monster."
So here's my question to you.
Yeah.
Do you think he has? Because he's the only person that we know of that has more than one devil fruit. right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is? Like, do you have any theories on like why you think he has more than one, or why he can have more than one?
Heard theories of him maybe having different hearts or whatever. He's like a chimera of some sort or something like that with different locations of hearts out his body to where then he can have these different types of abilities. But even though everybody gets mad at me, I feel as if it has something to do with the D in his name. I just feel as if there's so much more importance of the people with D.
Right.
Everybody does not like the family that has the letter D in their name.
Right.
So I feel as if it could be something special about those who have D in their name that maybe can acquire having multiple devil fruits. Like,
right.
I just feel like there's too much emphasis on the will of D and the
right.
people with D in their name. And for Blackbeard to be a D and have the ability to then collect as many devil fruits or whatever into one and then distribute them as well is like, I don't know, it just sounds very sus to me. What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like there's a reason why his flag has like the 3-headed dog on it. Like, so I'm like, does that mean you have like 3? I think going back to the hearts thing, I don't know if it's a heart thing, but I think like it's almost like signifying like you have 3 parts to you. So maybe each one of those parts can acquire a devil fruit, is what I'm assuming. But that flashback arc of having him there, I was like, okay, they're trying to set up something with him of like he's been a problem since the beginning, and he's the one that gave Shanks the scar on his face. So and we still haven't seen what that looks like. Does he turn into a monster? Does he turn into that's like claws? That's like claw marks. Yeah. So like, did you have like some kind of Vega thing going on, or did you actually have, like what was that? So I don't know exactly what's going on with him, but I wonder if he has some kind of like beast beast thing going on that we haven't seen yet, maybe. But
yeah, that is something to kind of ponder on.
Here's my question. Sure. My question is this. Yeah. Because me and Toshi were talking about this, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Where do you think Luffy's devil fruit came from?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Came from?
So remember when he first got the devil fruit, when he first ate it, he was in the bar with Shanks. Shanks had got the devil fruit and he had it in a chest.
Yes.
Where do you think that came from? Like, why did Shanks have it?
That is a good question. I would just off of first assuming, I was thinking that maybe Shanks was debating himself enough if he wanted to then take the devil fruit for himself, or I guess now looking back, or just like hold it. But I think now thinking it's like for Shanks now to have had that devil fruit and being with Roger, and I still think she should know somewhat of what happened in Laugh Tale or whatever now. At least by now he should have. It's like, is he now, was he saving it for the special one? You know what I mean? And then Luffy, he probably didn't know at the time, was that actual special one that he was probably holding it for. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Just now thinking about it. What about you?
I feel like after watching the Wano arc, it kind of cemented more of a theory for me. And I think there's something to do with, I think Roger had that devil fruit.
You do?
I think Roger might have had it and he went to get it. Because, like, remember when when the fire fruit guy, whoever had the fire fruit guy, when that dude had died, that fruit became available again and they found it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how, what's his name, ended up getting it?
Ace.
Not Ace, but what's his name?
No.
The dude with the club. I keep forgetting his name.
The club? The fire?
Yeah, he ended up getting that fruit. It was, remember,
no, Sabo's not it.
Sabo, yeah.
Sabo? Yeah, okay.
So when Sabo ended up getting it, so they found the fruit after that person that had the fruit died, right? So they're like, all right, cool. So now we have that. We're going to be able to do that. So I think in this, it's like you show up in the first early episodes of Luffy with a devil fruit that you haven't eaten yet, but it seems like you had it for a reason, and Luffy just ended up eating it. And then seeing how he was with Roger and how like he was like, he looked up to him so much, I was like, okay, like I wonder if that was Roger's fruit and he ended up finding it and it was either going to eat it himself or do something with it, and Luffy ended up eating it.
Yeah.
But again, that's just a theory that I had prior, but after seeing the arc and seeing how much Shanks actually was influenced by Roger, I was like, and had his hat. Like, I was like, hold on, he gave you the hat and then you gave it to, like, so I was like, what's going on with this hat? Like, what's going on with the fruit? So I wonder if the fruit was a similar thing with the hat, where he got the fruit from Roger and then ended up accidentally got passed to Luffy by accident.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's what I'm thinking.
To think about. Yeah. Because we never know if Roger had a devil fruit or not. Like, we haven't seen any instances where he used it.
Right.
Him in water or whatever. We haven't seen none of that. So.
True.
I don't know. That's something to think about.
So, biggest question I get all the time is, and I want to know your thoughts on this, anime and live action, can it work? Can it work? Can it work? Are there any good live action adaptations of anime that you have seen or experienced?
I'm gonna be honest, I have not seen any live actions that I'm like, yes, this is on par with the anime.
Right.
I have yet. There's been some, like, as a Death Note, they had that live action that was okay to watch. You know what I'm saying? It was okay, but it wasn't like, yes, they nailed it. No, none of that. I typically try to stay away from live actions. I'm not gonna. I stay away.
Fair enough.
I stay away.
Yeah, I have faith. I just feel like, look, I have faith. I think that the challenge is this: is you have anime fans that want a replication of the anime. They want to see, I saw this in the anime, just do the same thing in live action, right?
Yeah.
Which doesn't work. And I think the biggest, I guess the biggest show of that would be, look at like X-Men. Right now, you think of X-Men, you think of like Wolverine, these characters. Now, imagine if Wolverine was in yellow spandex with a mask, like he would look ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain some things translate in live action well, and some things just don't. So it's like, how do you do it? And I think fans want immediate translation. Oh, it needs to look exactly like this and you have the same. It's like, right, but you're assuming that this world isn't Earth now. So like, how do you now change everything to make it seem like you're not on Earth with our version of reality? You know what I'm saying? Like,
to be honest, I don't even have any like problems with any of that, because I know live action it's going to look just different, period. Just because you have animation and then real life, it's going to look different. But but what I don't like is the feeling. It's just not the same. Like, if you're going to have, I think it comes down to the actors for me. It all comes down who they pick to play these roles. Like, let's say Marvel and DC, right? They're both superhero based, companies.
Right.
Marvel knows how to pick their actors for live action to where, do we ever have a problem with Marvel to where we're like, oh, this is some booty ass mess that we're watching? No, okay. It's very interesting. DC live action, I can't say the same. Like, it doesn't keep me at the tip of my chair, like, oh my gosh, like I'm so excited to watch Batman throw hands. No, it does not, because I feel as if Marvel does a great job as at picking the correct person to play these characters. DC doesn't know how to do that. So I feel like with live action, it's like, how would they then pick the right person to play this part to where then I can get the same feeling from it? Like, I understand it's not going to be the same, but I want the same feeling. At least give me that. Give me the same feeling.
Okay.
But a lot of times I don't get it. It feels cheesy or it seems forced. It doesn't feel natural at all.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, I think on the film side with your example of DC and Marvel, I think it's more so of executive versus talent. And I'll give you an example. Like, Marvel, Kevin Feige runs the entire Marvel properties, like all of it. He's like the guy that oversees everything. So from start to finish, he was like the mastermind behind the whole Infinity Saga, where things are going to go, what movies are like. He was that guy. DC they didn't have a person. They had like a committee of people. So you have all these different ideas going around, what they should do, what they don't want to do. They wanted to emulate stuff with Marvel, right? But even looking at the comics, DC is by nature a darker type of comic. They're way darker than Marvel comics. So in that space, it's like, all right, you guys want to make things look like Marvel when it's not Marvel. Like, there are two different types of, so you had that, I think, was probably a challenge for them, trying to chase Marvel being another one. And I think the biggest tell for that was after what happened with Justice League, they brought in Joss Whedon to reshoot and finish Justice League. And Joss Whedon did the first two Avengers movies, which is why Justice League turns out so trash. And then you had the Zack Snyder Justice League cut come out, and it was worlds better of a movie. You're just like...
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it was executive decisions of them trying to emulate what Marvel did when they didn't need to do that. It's like, you guys, you just do your own thing. You don't need to create a crazy universe and connect all the movies. Like, you've already shown that you can create Oscar level content, even with the Nolan Batman series. Like, you can create great movies, so you don't need to.
Why do they mess it up?
So they don't need to do all this extra shit. So I think for them, it's just, I think it was more of executives. But to your point, I will grant you this, that a lot of anime adaptations, they try to emulate anime expressions in live action when people don't express in live action how they express in animation.
That is true.
So it's like, so I think in that, like, if you even look at Death Note, or did you see the Bleach live action on Netflix?
No. Well, I'm lying. I saw like the first 30 minutes of it, and I was like, devil, you ain't doing this to me today. And I said, Jesus, I won't let you do this to me. I said, stop it right here in the name of Jesus. Not doing it.
Yeah,
You got the gag.
I just couldn't. I think a lot of it, though, is because a lot of these expressions don't happen in real life. Like, you don't nani in real life. Like, you don't do that. You don't have that nut bust face in real life. Like, it's not something that you do. So it's just really strange. You know what I'm saying? It's like let's figure out how to express what you're trying to express in a natural way of doing it versus trying to make it look like you're a cartoon character. So it's really, I don't know. I feel like we need like a fan of it, but understands how to adapt it. Because I feel like either you have people that like some of the Japanese studios. Are you watching Tokyo Revengers at all?
Not started. I do want to start it though. I have not started at all.
Okay, so they're coming out with a live action of that. And people are in the community are excited because the actors that they casted look very similar to the actual anime counterpart.
Okay.
And the trailer came out, so we watched that, and I was just like, this looks so corny. Like it. A lot of it, though, is because they're trying to make them act like they're anime characters, but they're human people. So it's like,
yeah.
But, and it may work well in Japanese culture, but Western cultures aren't going to respond to that type of a reaction. So
it's going to be very hard for them to, if they were to.
Right.
That is facts.
So I don't know if it's just because anime fans love that type of an aesthetic already that they want that type of reaction from people. But people that don't watch anime are like, why are they acting like that? Like, you know, it's, I feel like it's
they're not going to understand why. You're right.
Yeah. Like, I feel like it's too conflicting. But, okay. So did you see the live action trailer for the Promised Neverland?
Nope, I won't. I ain't gonna do it to myself. I'm not doing it. Nope. Nope.
Hey, I'm proud of you. I watched it when it first came out, and I was like, come on, guys. Like, they got the bad wigs. They got the bad cosplay wigs. I'm like, what are y'all doing right now? Yeah, it's not it.
Nope, I will not do it to myself.
It's not it. It's not it. Like,
no. Oh, Lord.
It's not it.
The bad wigs too.
They have the wigs, and you're just like, why? But why? Like, they have regular hairstyles. Like, why do you need this crazy anime wig? Like, yeah, I don't
Y'all
get
got
it.
Hair.
I don't get. I mean, it's not like Dragon Ball where the silhouette is like Vegeta and Goku. Like, their silhouette is their hair. Like, you have regular types of hair in Promised Neverland. It's like bobs and like bowl cuts.
Yeah.
And like, they're not that difficult. Like, you could just do regular hairstyles. Like, why do you need this crazy wig? Like, but then they age them up. So like you have like the people that are playing Emma and all them are like, they're like 19, 20 years old, but like they're trying to make them look like they're little kids. You're just kind of like, hold on, this is so weird.
Are you kidding? Okay, that just sounds just awkward.
Japan be wildin'. Japan be wildin' sometimes. Like, yeah, y'all interested. Y'all super interesting out here, man. For real. They be testing the social norms. You be like, are we doing that right now? Okay, so I have a question. Anime, not anime, webtoon wise, reading. Mm-hmm. I know Tower. I see you reading Tower of God.
Yeah, I'm having so much fun reading that.
What other outside of Tower? We'll get to Tower of God because I really want to talk about Tower of God a lot because Tower of God is like that's my jam. What other stuff are you reading over there?
Ooh, I'm reading Berserk. Ooh. Lord have mercy.
Okay.
That I'm having so much fun reading that too. But
okay,
when you talk about dark and like stuff that I didn't necessarily think I would ever like experience while reading, I get all of that in Berserk.
Okay.
Like, all of it. It has so many like dark, but like
and that's like the anime Berserk,
moments,
right? But like, so you're reading it instead? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm gonna tell you, I seen the anime that was on Netflix years and years ago. Mm-hmm. But reading it is a whole different playground.
Oh. Okay.
It's totally like, what the hell did I choose to read? Like,
it's that crazy.
I'm liking it. But certain times, like even when it comes to certain parts, you're just like your mouth just drops, and you're just staring, looking at that one panel, like,
oh dang, like that?
Yeah, yeah. It that is. Woo. I was left speechless a lot of the times that I was watching or reading that.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I don't think I've watched Berserk either. I haven't read or watched Berserk.
Read it first.
Read it first. Ooh. Okay. But okay, so then will it ruin my anime watching experience because I read it first? Because you saw it in reverse, right? You watched it first, right?
I did. I watched the anime. Oh, okay. You might want to watch if you plan on watching the anime, watch the anime first.
Okay.
But you're definitely gonna want to go back and read it. For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, because I know like me and Toshi read like solo leveling.
Ooh, I love that too.
Mm-hmm. Solo leveling is crazy.
It's dope.
We were reading AOT, but that's done. Goat status, respect. That might be as far as like the completed series. I think when the anime is completed, it might be the best completed anime that I've watched. I know as far as the story wise, like written it's my favorite for sure. But I think because One Piece isn't finished, I'm still like One Piece as an unfinished still my GOAT, but I think as a finished series, I think One Piece has it. AOT has it. But Boruto, do you read or watch Boruto?
I was watching Boruto.
Okay.
And I was like, because I love the Naruto series. I loved it. So I was like, oh, we get to see his kids. Like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Gave it a try. And I was like, okay, this is fine. I'm liking it. But then it got to freaking Mitsuki. And then to that part. And then he was going to, was it the Stone Village or whatever? And then I just got so annoyed when it came to the old man with the big nose.
Yeah.
I said, man, fuck you. I'm not watching this shit no more. Like,
yo, I'm telling you right now, like from experience, on your own time, watch it or read it. The manga is fire. The manga is fire, and where it's at right now in the anime and in the manga this might be if the arc that we're in right now is arguably in the top 2 or 3 arcs of all of Naruto.
Ooh.
It's really good. It's really good. So I would say
that's some big words.
That's
some big words.
It is, and it's dope. Naruto's in my top 5, of series. Yeah. I like the series of Naruto, and I think Boruto had a rough start for sure. But yeah, so I'm reading that. Boruto's dope. But I think, and I just started reading Omniscient Reader on Webtoon.
Is that dope? I heard good things about it.
Crazy. It's like, I've only read like 5 or 6 chapters, but it's nuts. Like right off the bat, you're like, what is going on? Like it's actually really interesting. It's super interesting. So I like that a lot. But we're both reading Tower of God. And you're also in, second season is so long. It's so long.
You ain't never lied.
I was never lied. I was like, how y'all, this has got to be like a 3-part season 2 anime. Easy.
It has to be. It has to be. I don't know how they're going to, I hope they don't skip a chunk of things.
Yeah.
That I'm like really anticipating on seeing.
Yeah.
I'll be pissed off if they skip a couple of interactions between different people. Without
trying to spoil, because I know it's really hard to talk about the second season of that series, but like where are you at roughly? Like, do you know where the last place you were at?
Yes. I am at the part to where and Dorsey ain't got no name.
No name station. Okay. All right. You're close. Okay. You're close. You're close to where we are. Yeah. Yes. Yes. This is, that's crazy. That arc is nuts.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. Okay. So who is your favorite character in Tower of God so far?
I can't pick. There's so many good ones. All right, so I love. This is hard.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't pick. I'm a woman. I'm indecisive. I can do this. All right. Okay. So look.
All right.
I love Endorsi.
Okay.
I love Kun.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Real quick side note. I can't stand Bomb.
Why? Okay. Why not with Bomb? What's up with Bomb?
I can't vibe with him. I've tried him and this Rachel woman. I just want to choke him.
Hey.
And just calls him amnesia so freaking bad.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, like I'm not gonna say anything, but yeah. I can't say anything because I can't even spoil you on what's coming. So I'm like, I'm just gonna let you have that. But okay, so Kun, Endorsi,
and Rock.
And Rack? Rack is so hilarious.
I love him.
You like the small version or the big version? Because he got like
I like both of them. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like Chibi Rock is like, okay, I'm humbling for y'all. Right. And I like when he goes like, Big Rock is like, yeah, I'm gonna smush y'all mofos. Like, I just love his energy.
Yeah, he's dope. Rock is dope. I'm trying to think okay, so nobody likes Ryo. Like nobody likes her at all. She's the worst. I hate her. I remember because I actually that was the first time that I actually saw you was on that webtoon compilation, and like everybody was like, "What?" Like I was like, "Yo!" So because I actually don't watch a lot of reaction videos. Mm-hmm. That's usually not the content I actually watch. So there's moments where I'm like, I have to see how this person reacted to this. Like, I'm just like, there's moments you're just like, hold on. So that was the first time I actually saw your content was on that. I was like, yo, what? So what was going through your head at that moment when she stood up? Like,
I said, this heifer's a liar. Like, she is a liar. She's doing what? I said, I knew something was up with her, though. Her spirit wasn't right.
Her spirit was never right. Though. Her spirit
was not right.
Yo,
I knew it. But when her ass stood up, and then she did, like, the whole, like, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, she
This
dirty.
boy loved you. I was just so mad.
Yo.
I was so heated.
Yeah, I was mad. I was like, yo, you a swindle for sure. She is swindle. Ooh. She running around with the Professor Xavier wheelchair. I was like, you don't get your ass out of here with that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I could not. Every time I see her, I want to punch the screen. I'm like, I do not like you at all.
There's so many. Like, I think in reading it made it even worse of a reason why I hate her even more. Like, but then because of my hate for her, it then makes me mad at Bomb. Like, I'm his mama or some stuff. It's like, boy, you better wisen up. Stop letting this girl use you. Like,
hey, I'm telling you right now, like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing about. I can't wait for you to get into this later into the. You have like, because you're at Name Station, so you're like, I mean, you're an arc behind us, so
okay.
Yeah, you're really close to where we are. There's some stuff that happens, and it's great. It's great. So
well, until then, Bomb's not on my favorite list, just because I think I actually liked him until he was in the when he confronted Joaquin. And then I think it was before Joaquin.
Okay.
If you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. When we saw our girl again. Mm-hmm. That pissed me off even more.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like,
Bomb is saucy. It's when he has his hair is when he's the sauciest. When he's hair bomb, that's when he's the sauciest. You're like, ooh, you tight when you got long hair. And he went back to bowl cut, and the simp came back with a vengeance. Yeah. I mean, I think in that, like, how they build the story is really dope. Like, that's been, like, my favorite part of the show. Of just, like, they reveal things as they answer questions. They answer questions, and then they start showing, you're like, hold on, what? Hold on, time out. I like that about it quite a bit. I just hope, I'm with you. I hope that they take their time with the second season. That's what I hope. Mm-hmm. Because I know right now people are fighting for attention, so they want... Kind of like what they did with God of High School. They were like, look, we need to get them immediately. So they jump right into action immediately, right? Because you're fighting for attention. So, the fight sequences were incredible in that.
It was dope. That was
reading they definitely left a lot out of story that they could have implemented, but. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like honestly, looking at that, what had dropped over the past, 12 months, I feel like God of High School is the new Dragon Ball. I feel like Tower of God is the new One Piece. And I feel like Jujutsu is the new Naruto. I feel like how they are like the personality of the shows feel like that. The personality of God of High School, very action heavy.
Yeah.
Powers, fighting, cool. Dragon Ball. It seems like it's very simplistic. It doesn't seem too over complex.
Right.
And then you have Tower of God, which is very like adventure, series of reveals, connective story, world building's crazy. That feels like One Piece more than any of the three. But then Jujutsu has like more of a strategy, more of like there's a lot of stuff going on. You have the main character has some demon in him, very similar to like there's a lot of similarities there. And then like Goat Joe just looks like Kakashi, just with both of his eyes covered.
Yes, he does.
So I'm just like, yo, like I just feel like he just, I don't know. I just feel like that series is more of like the newer Naruto of like the newer animes that have come out. But what are your assessment? Like the past year has been a crazy one with animes and stuff. Like,
yes, it has.
What like how do you assess what's come out of the past year? Like, what are the things that you really rock with? And
all right. I was very disappointed. We already said I was very disappointed with season 2 of The Promised Neverland.
Yeah.
I was just very disappointed. I don't even read the manga, but it just felt like I was missing something that was supposed to be there, and it was not there. So that was probably one of my disappointments.
Okay.
And then I would say, though I had fun watching God of High School, it definitely did not make any of my favorites whatsoever. Again, I'm a story person. And once I feel as if you're trying to fast pace the story to match the fighting or like why people are fighting or stuff like that, I can't totally click with that. I'm gonna enjoy the animation for what it's worth,
right?
But story wise, I just can't. I love Tower of God, even though a lot of people, which I am glad that I did watch the anime first before actually reading it, because a lot of people were actually complaining about Tower of God and the pacing and stuff. But me, just as an anime only watcher at that time, I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. But when I went back and read, it's like, oh yeah, we did miss kind of some name drops and some extra side interactions with characters. But I did enjoy Tower of God. I enjoyed, of course, One Piece for sure. I've loved Vinland Saga. I love Demon Slayer. I feel like I really didn't have a lot of misses. The only misses were the ones I just named.
Right.
Was there any? Oh, the Fairy Tail final season?
I actually haven't even watched Fairy Tail. People are asking me to watch Fairy Tail because I haven't watched it.
Really?
So, yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched it, so that might be upcoming on the channel. But
it's cute.
Okay. Oh, it's cute.
But
okay.
It's cute. A lot of fan service type of moments.
Okay.
I was like, meh, whatever.
Okay.
Oh, this might shake the table a little bit. Fire Force.
Okay. Okay, so check this out.
Not one of my favorites.
I'm watching it. I'm watching the second season now. I think, I don't know how many episodes I'm in already on the second season. I want to say I'm like 17, 18 episodes in of the second season. And while I really enjoyed the first season, I think it has amazing animation and the sound design is incredible. The second season is really like, it's testing my patience. Like, it's really like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, it just felt like, I don't know. It doesn't feel as, it feels like they could have consolidated a lot. Really? Yeah. I feel like it's like,
I haven't even started the second season. I'm going off of just the first season.
Oh, wow. Okay. So she's like, okay, it's not your vibe.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Did you watch Shield Hero?
No, I have not. I have not watched that.
Okay.
At all.
It's interesting. I think it's overlooked. I don't know if it's underrated, but I think it's overlooked. I definitely think like it's an overlooked anime. What do you think about? This is going to be controversial. People already know how I feel about it, but I want to know how you feel about it.
Oh Lord.
Do you watch Re:Zero?
I haven't started it yet, actually.
Okay. Well, when and if you do.
I want to, though. I heard great things about it. I heard nothing but great things.
All right. Well, you don't watch my stuff. So like when you were talking to me about, you know what? I'm not even going to say anything because I don't want to influence how you feel about it. So we'll talk about this at a later time once you've actually watched, because I want to get your uninfluenced opinion about everything that's going on in that show.
Gotcha.
So we'll leave that for another time. What are your thoughts on Jujutsu?
I actually love Jujutsu Kaisen. I like the story. I love how our boy is like having Sukuna. I love me some Sukuna. I just love him. I just love him. Even though I know I shouldn't like him, I just love him.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's his sauce though. He's just saucy. He just has.
Yes, and I would drink all of the sauce. Like I just love him as everything. Right. I just love him. But I just like how we have Sukuna's story, but then we don't really know. His name was Yuji, right? I don't want to mess his name up. His name was Yuji, right? Yeah. I'll make sure I got his name right. So it's like we have sort of Yuji's background, but we don't know who his parents are. I like how he says he doesn't have a mom. He doesn't remember his mother, but he remembers a little bit of his father. So like, well, who is your daddy then? What do you remember of your daddy? Like, who was he? You have these exceptional type of abilities and gifts and talents. You from somebody. You from somewhere.
Right.
Give me all the I love the mystery behind that. I love the mystery behind Sukuna. Because like Sukuna's like we saw that there's this story that they're passing along about how he's just a bad guy or whatever. Right. Is he really bad though? Look at him.
She's like, I don't want him to be bad. Like, don't be bad.
I don't want him to be bad at all.
Yo, that's hilarious.
So I'm giving him the opportunity to prove to me that something must have happened for him to become this curse, because we know that people curses originate from something or somewhere. So I want to see exactly Sukuna's like way back, like what actually went down to make him this formidable curse that we saw what happened with him. And was it Mahito? Like he said, next time I told you to do this, you gonna get got. And what he did, he got got.
Right.
So
now my question is, why does he look so much like Yuji?
Okay, so I don't know. I was thinking that maybe he just conforms to what his host's body is. But if he looked like that for real, I ain't mad at it.
Right. I mean, my thing was like, why? I'm with you though. I was like, why do you look like him though? Like, so that's obviously the question for me. I'm like, so you look like my man just with stuff on your face? Like, it's just interesting. It's just interesting. Maybe it's subterfuge. Maybe it's just like, oh, we're making him look like that for now, but he really doesn't look like that.
See, that's what I was wondering too. I was like, is it because he's using Yuji's body as a host to why that's what he looks like? But if he got another form, I don't mind him showing me what his other form is.
I mean, what if he looked like third form Frieza? He looked.
No, he need to keep Yuji.
Yeah, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. That's an ugly form. I don't think.
You know what I really want to know too is how old is Yuji though? I don't think. Do we know how old he actually is?
We're assuming he's in high school. We're assuming that he's in high school, but I don't really know his exact age. My biggest question for him is kind of what you touched on earlier, was like like the first episode we saw you in, you jumped to like the third floor of a building. Like,
with nothing.
Like, how are you physically that strong? Like, you're just normal.
And fast. He's fast as hell.
Yeah, so very confusing. And up to your knowledge, you have no control over any of that power. So it's like you're just physically anomaly. Like, very interesting.
He didn't even have any, like, in the beginning, any of curses or nothing. Like, he was just totally oblivious to everything of that world. He just thought he just had these abilities, and that's just natural to him. He's just this great runner. He's strong. He can do anything he want to do.
Right.
But now we see there's more to that. And I wish we had a deeper conversation with Grandpa. I feel as if Grandpa, he had to have known some stuff too.
I think so. I think Grandpa knows. I think that's why they killed him off early. I think they may have some flashbacks of like conversations he had with Grandpa. Like, I feel like there's something there. Like, because he left him with the whole like your responsibility vibes. So you're just kind of like what? Like, Grandpa, you knew something, bro. What's going on? Like, you know something.
Yes. Don't die alone, and you have responsibilities, or not responsibility, like save people.
Right.
It's like,
yeah,
you
exactly.
tell him to save people. You don't even know what you know. What you know with what he been up to. How do you know what he been up to?
Exactly. Like, what's going on? So yeah, for sure. I think what do you rate out of 10 Goat Joe? I call him Goat Joe because he's the goat. But what do you?
Goat Joe. Ooh.
Everybody does. Goat Joe is it. He's it.
Yes, he is. He's the one. He's the one.
That dude is a vibe for sure. So
how would I rate him? Is what you're asking?
Yeah. How would you rate him?
I will rate him a 10. I mean, I just feel like he's funny.
Yeah.
He don't give a shit. The thing what cracked me up was how he was like, maybe I should go kill all the higher ups. Like, that was a thought in his head, and he said it out of his mouth. Like, maybe I should just go kill him. Like,
now we ain't got to worry about none of this. I'll just body all of them real quick. Yeah.
It's no problem. I can just knock some heads off like it's nothing. And I feel like right there to just solidify it. Like, he's no one to play any games with at all. Right. And then how, especially seeing his power in real life, like taking the things off his eyes, we saw his eyes. We saw him go against his name was a goat. What's his name?
I know you're talking about the volcano head dude. Jugo. Yeah.
I think that was his name.
Yeah.
And how he used his own what's it called? It's not Dominion. What's it called? Domain.
Yeah, domain expansion. Yeah.
Domain. Oh, I was like, yeah, I like you, sir. You the one for me. I like you. You and
he's vibe. Yeah. He's a vibe for sure.
What about you?
I mean, he's a 10. I think out of anime characters, I think he's probably the sauciest I've seen. Like, he's just a saucy fucking character. My biggest thing now is I don't know who's saucier, because I think there's 3 people that are on that level of sauce. And depending on how far you're into some of the content, you may not have seen all the sauce yet, but
yeah.
Gojo for sure. Sung Jin-woo from Solo Leveling, and Yurik Mizuno from Tower of God. Those 3, I don't know who's saucier. I don't know. I have no idea. Because Yurik is a problem. Like,
Yurik is saucy.
He's a whole problem. Like, bro, what? He was like, what's that? Like, he was like, you don't know who I am, bro? Like, he has that whole vibe. Like, bro, I'm the one, bro. Like, I'm it. I'm the guy. And then, like Sung Jin-woo, we call him Sauce Jin-woo on our reads. Like, oh, that's Sauce Jin-woo. He's all about it. He's just saucy.
I love me some woo-woo.
Yeah, not the woo-woo. Can I woo-woo-woo?
Woo-woo.
Yo, that's hilarious. So, I don't know between those 3. I'm nervous about Solo Leveling becoming an anime, though. I don't know if, like, I don't know.
No idea.
I want it to be an anime, but I'm nervous on who could actually do it, because it's going to need a budget, like a really big budget to do.
Yeah.
So,
I think while reading Solo as well, it's like sometimes when you're reading it, it's actually like when you're reading it in your head, you're animating it yourself as you're reading it. Right. Because the panels itself are like dope.
Yeah.
They just pop up off the page, and like in your head as the sequences are going, you're just imagining what they are going to look like. Facts. So I think what will be the worst letdown is me already having this bomb animation that I already played in my head, and then they do it and it doesn't look like that at all.
Facts. I mean, here's my thing. I think so. Being in film, there's cheap, good, and fast, but you can only pick 2. That's how film works. You can either have it cheap and good, but guess what? It's not going to be fast. If you want it fast and good, it's not going to be cheap. Like, so you have to. So in productions in general, it's kind of like a similar thing. So when you're looking at like Jujutsu Kaisen is a rare scenario. You had 23, 24 episodes of an anime first season. In almost every episode was a banger. Like, every episode had some kind of action, comedy, some kind of drama. Voice acting was on point. Animation was gorgeous. Every episode. Even the baseball episode, even though it wasn't like a fully crazy episode, it wasn't a filler. There was stuff that was going through it that connected episodes. And even in that, the animation didn't falter. But but from what I heard, they had spent a really long time on Jujutsu Kaisen's first season. So as opposed to, let's say, a weekly shonen like Boruto or Black Clover or One Piece, where they're relying on filler episodes to get ad revenue to fund other episodes that need the actual crazy animation.
Correct.
So with Solo, it's like, okay, I'll give you an example. Tower God. The early chapters of Tower God in the webtoon, you know, the illustration wasn't, it was whatever, you know. Like you draw better than I do, you know, like, cool. You know, I get what's going on, you know. And as it progressed, you see the art style get better and better and better. But but early on, that compared to the anime looked better to me in a great fashion to me. And I loved how they animated stuff, and I was like, "Ooh, I like this." Yeah. Solo Leveling is a different beast. It looks like you need it to at least be that. Yes. So I'm like, how do you animate that without a crazy budget or having a ton of time to do it.
Yeah. They don't need to rush that at all. I wouldn't suggest them to rush that at all. Like, take your time. I would wait. I will patiently wait for them to do that correctly. Don't take your time. I am not going to be mad at you. Just don't hurt my feelings.
Who would you want to animate that series, though?
I would say yes, only because there's certain fights that I want to see animated. Mm-hmm. There's certain fights that I just want to say. Well, I don't want to spoil because people might want to read it themselves. But like the National Hunter and one person, I would love to see that fight. Mm-hmm. Just in real life.
Okay.
Wu had a lot of great fights, even when he was in the other world. It's like, I just want to see how he would do animated. But again, while you're reading it, you're already, like I said, coming up with the sequences in your head of what it is going to look like, or what it should look like at least. So again, like, it's like a catch-22. Do I want them to do it and not get...
Is there a particular studio that you would want to maybe do the animation? Like, you're like, ooh, like, this would be a good, like, you may not know the studio off the top of your head, but like, if there's an animator, like, ooh, if the people that did this anime could do this.
Wit. I would think.
Wit?
I think Wit would do a good job with it. I say that because they have been very much consistent with all the work that they've done.
Yeah.
Hands down. So I will say Wit. I'll let them.
Yeah, you know, it's so funny because we were talking about this on the Cyber Hype, and I was like, while Mappa has really good moments for sure, like obviously what they did with God of High School was incredible with its fight sequences and the first person stuff and the mocap, really dope. But then the aesthetic, I'm like, I don't know if they can pull the aesthetic off. And then you look at something darker like Jujutsu Kaisen, which is darker, and which Mappa killed. But then you look at AOT season 4, and I think Wit does like all of the combat and like the move gear shit way better than Mappa does.
It was cleaner. It was way cleaner.
It was way different. I was like, I think Wit Studios just does action, like, especially with swords and stuff like that. And that's really a lot of what happens in Solo. I was like, I think Wit would be a killer for Solo leveling.
Yes. I think so. So you agree Wit would be a good 100%.
I think so. Yeah. I think Wit would crush. Ufotable would be really good as well, I think.
Yeah. They have good stuff too that comes out. But even though sometimes with them, I feel as if it's just not as consistent.
But I think if they had enough time, I think with that, because the popularity of that series is so beloved, like, I don't think a studio would be able to just say, oh, let's just put it out. Like, I think they would hopefully they would understand the level that they needed to be on because of how visually ridiculous the artwork is.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we already have great ass art. Like, Solo Leveling is not no black and white type of manga or webtoon that we're reading. It's not black and white. We have color panels. That art is crispy, okay?
Yeah, super.
From jump, art is crispy. They cannot come up with the first episode and it looks like booty meat. I'll be very, very mad.
Not booty meat.
Yeah.
You got the booty meat.
Not the good booty meat either.
Yeah.
The trash booty meat.
Yeah, you got the pancakes. You got pancake meat. I think that was the thing too, though. Like, stuff that I noticed in the panels, like just how they illuminate. Like, some of the stuff looks like there's light. I'm like, this is a drawing. Like, it looks like there's light. Like, I'm watching, like, somebody took, like, this. Like, that's light, right? So, like, my actual light behind me. So, I'm like, how did you draw that? Like, how did you make it look like it's illuminated? Like, their artist is crazy. And I heard the artists that do Omniscient Reader.
Ooh.
Yeah, because some of the early stuff that I'm watching, some of the early stuff that I'm reading, I was like, yo, this looks really good. Like early on, I'm like, hold on, I hope this gets crazier, but it looks really good right now. But yeah, I'm nervous about it because I did hear that there's potentially a studio that got the rights to do a live action for Solo Leveling. I know. Trust me, my eyes rolled the exact same way. I was like, oh, no, don't. No,
put the animated version out first.
To be fair, though, I think I would rather a live action first than an anime first. To be fair. I think I would rather you do the live action, so I don't know how these characters are going to move on paper. Right? Because you could do more on paper than you could in live action to a certain degree. Okay. So it's like, if my expectation isn't there from the anime yet, and it's just still images, I think I could accept the live action easier than seeing it animated and the craziness that you see in the animation. Like, how are you going to do this in live action? Like, I feel like it would probably be easier for me to digest it if it was live action first. I don't want to see it live action. I actually want to see it animated only.
They can just throw the whole live action in the trash can. Don't even try it. Don't even do it. Don't start it. Don't do it to this. It's what I don't like is when you have something so good. Let's say, for instance, Avatar. Okay, we all grew up watching Avatar, right?
Right.
Live action.
Look. To be fair, it was nowhere near Dragon Ball Evolution. It was nowhere near Dragon Ball Evolution at all.
Okay, you're right. You're right. But do we have to say that
do we deserve that? We don't deserve that.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I was just trying to give M. Night Shyamalan he that's the Shyamalan.
That was so trash. That movie was terrible.
As soon as they said Ong, the crowd was like, Ong? Like, who is Ong? Like, oh man, it was bad. It was bad. I was like, guys.
Bad. Sokka was not the same. Like,
I mean, they're doing a live action for Netflix, right? They're doing a series. A live action series of Avatar.
Well, you know what? You know what I can say? If they do a live action, ain't nowhere but up to go because that was so bad. It was so bad. So you know what? Kudos to y'all. Just don't do what you did the first time.
But here's the scary part is this. The writers of Avatar were on for the live action series, but then left the project due to creative differences. So I don't know where. So here's my thing. This is what I would love for live actions to do. I would like live actions to be in the world of the anime, but not with the main, not rehashing what we know. Like, so in Naruto, maybe having an Itachi movie of just an arc on Itachi. Or in Dragon Ball, having a character in Universe 6, but it's not of the main character, or it's like a side story of Goku or whatever. Yeah. Something where it's not a rehash. Yeah, it's not a rehash of what we already seen. Like, which is why I don't play the video games. Like, I don't want to play the game of the anime. I already know the story. I already know what's going to happen. Like, I don't want to play that. I would rather do something different. So that's my thing. I would rather just be like an offshoot or an additive to the story that we love.
Yeah. If it's a live action, I would take me going in and not knowing or expecting certain things and they fuck it up.
Right.
Then give me something new and be like, okay, I'm watching because now it's interesting. I don't know what to then expect. Right. So I totally can see where you're coming from on that one.
Like if they did like a Hashirama show for Naruto, like a Hashirama like Shinzu, like it's like the first Hokage, like that would be a dope show, or like a live action movie or something where it's like, we're gonna take something from this universe, it hasn't been animated, and we're gonna build upon the lore in a different fashion, and have the writers on board. I think that would be interesting, but I don't know. I think the rehashing of anime into movies, that's too much content. It's like taking a book and saying, okay, we're gonna take this 1,000-page book and make it a 2-hour movie. Like, how do we do that?
I agree. Just don't do it. So Solo and don't do it.
Okay, so before we go,
I'll be so
I have to ask you, because I know everybody's going to want to know. You probably get asked this all the time.
Yeah.
Especially as a reactor. You get this asked all the time. Top 5. What's your top 5? Yeah, I know. But I know you get asked it all the time. I know people are like, what's your top 5 anime? What's your top 5? Okay, if you were to pick top 5, what's your top 5? What you doing?
All right. Off the dome, because it could change, okay? This is just simply off the dome. Right. No particular order.
Okay. No order. Okay. All right.
One Piece, Hunter.
Ooh.
Whew. Okay. Now I feel pressure. Pressure. Okay. Dragon Ball. Okay. Don't judge me. I picked Dragon Ball because it's more of a nostalgia. Okay. Like, I grew up on that.
Yep.
Okay. So, Dragon Ball. Ooh, pressure's getting thick. All right. Let me see. Haikyuu, I love Haikyuu. Ooh, okay. I love the boys. I like feeling good. I love smiling. I don't think you can ever watch a Haikyuu episode and not have a big ass cheesy grin on your face. I just feel like that's just simply impossible.
Okay.
Oh, this is hard. Oh gosh. Attack on Titan.
Oof.
I'll say Attack on Titan.
Oof.
You going next. You can't have me do this.
That's a good 5, though. That's a good 5. Yours is actually really similar to mine. So for me, to your point, I grew up on Dragon Ball. So anytime people ask me this, I actually don't put Dragon Ball on my list because Dragon Ball is my favorite, period. And it has nothing to do with the story because I don't feel like story-wise is that great, to be completely honest. I think the good writing of Dragon Ball ended after Frieza died. I think the good writing after that was...
you ain't lying.
That's just my personal opinion. But I was there for everything else because I was like, this is my show, right? So I always exclude Dragon Ball. So mine, as of right now, as it sits, this is in numerical order, by the way. This is in numerical order. Now this is tricky because AOT, I already know how AOT ends. So, because I've read it. So if it follows how it's written, which AOT seems like it's written to be animated, as opposed to a lot of manga that are written and then they adapt it to an animation.
Correct.
It reads as if it's an animation. So if it's following that, AOT will be number 1 at the moment because it's already a completed series, and I think at the moment it's probably it. 2 is One Piece, 3 is Hunter x Hunter, 4 is Naruto, and 5, this one's the tough one. Because it was Death Note / interchangeable with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, right? That was like the interchangeable 5, but after watching all of Haikyuu that's out, I think Haikyuu might be my number 5. I absolutely love that series. There's just something about it that I'm just like, you are it. It just feels good. And I don't know if I have to just jump all into other sports anime now because it just made me be like, oh, I need to watch other sports anime. Because I've watched like 3 episodes of Ace of Diamond, like early last year.
Is it good? Somebody had told me to watch that.
The 3 episodes that I saw, I was like, this is dope. And I don't even like baseball. So I was like, but it's dope. I was like, yo, this is actually fire. So, but yeah, that would be my 5 right now. And yeah, I mean, it could change. So for people that are going to ask, people are going to ask, I never put in an anime that has less than 3 seasons in my top 5. I don't think it's fair.
Okay.
So like Jujutsu, great first season, but we saw what happened to The Promised Neverland. So like The Promised Neverland was my favorite first season up until Jujutsu Kaisen came out. I was like, yo, first season wise, The Promised Neverland was amazing. Yeah. I'm not typically an emotional person when it comes to like crying and stuff like that. And that was the first anime that made me cry since the Marineford arc. So
Dang.
And you know what happened in the Ring 4 arc. So I was like, yo, this is crazy. But yeah, if you don't have at least 3 seasons, I can't put you in my top 5. Like, you haven't earned it yet. You need to build up that bank.
You got some
first.
material to build up, sir.
Exactly. You need some material to build up for sure. But you had a great top 5, though. That's a dope top 5.
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
oh no, there was a lot of pressure. I feel like I'm about to sweat.
I mean, everybody's gonna come after you though, for sure, because that's how it is. Like, oh, what about this anime? This anime wasn't on your top 5.
Exactly.
Oh man.
And the reason why I say I didn't, you said Naruto. That's a good one, but I didn't put Naruto because I didn't read it. I just watched it, and it had too many goddamn fillers for me.
Oh, see, so here's the thing. So I when did you watch it? Did you watch it like when you were growing up, or?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I just watched
I didn't even know there were
Naruto.
fillers. I just thought it was part of the series.
So that was the thing. Like, so that was the thing. Like, I watched it maybe a year and a bit ago. I just started watching it. And so I had the filler list that I could just say, okay, which ones do I skip? Okay, I skipped that. Cool. Boom.
Oh,
so I didn't have to go through all that. But at the same time, a lot of people did say that there was some cool filler arcs that did do a little bit more explaining of certain characters and stuff. But
yeah.
But I am fully aware that there's like 200 episodes of filler, and I think in Shippuden alone or something like that. It's kind of wild how many filler episodes there are in Naruto. Yeah. But I think as a story for a shonen, some of the arcs, some of the character development moments are pretty. There's some pretty iconic moments in Naruto for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It could change, but I think Naruto right now is pretty fire. I haven't put Boruto in the Naruto thing because it's not really focused on Naruto. It's focused on his son. So
yes,
but because I know people are like, oh well, I'm like, yeah, but it's a different series. Like, it's not Naruto. Like it feels like it a little bit because he's in the show, but it's not Naruto.
Yeah,
at all.
Agreed.
But yeah, man, I appreciate the chat. It's been a long time coming, for sure. I want to have you back on for sure whenever the time permits.
Just hit me up. I'm here.
But where can people find you if they don't know about your awesome YouTube channel? Where can they find you?
I am on Twitter. Allona Cherie TV. Everything's Allona Cherie TV. Everything's the same. So even on Instagram, it's Allona Cherie TV. You'll find me there. Same. Instagram, you see photos. Twitter, you just see me retweet some stuff. Maybe drop a little gems here and there.
Yep.
But yeah, or YouTube. Follow me there.
Yes. Guys, do that. It'll be in the description box so you guys don't miss it. Make sure you guys follow her on socials. Allona, I appreciate you for stopping by rocking with me. To be honest, like you're officially the first podcast here. The first. So you're like the Ray J of the Breakfast Club. He was the first Breakfast Club interview. So you're the first.
But I'm Soulja Boy of the podcast.
Oh, not Drake.
That was me.
Oh my God. But yeah, guys, show Allona Cherie some love. Go follow her over on YouTube. Check out her stuff. She's fire. And she does live stream over on Twitch, her reads.
Oh, that's right. I'm on Twitch too.
We had real quick, we had rated your stream one time early on because someone was like, oh, Alana's on stream. I'm like, oh, what? So we go check you out, and like you're reading Tower of God, and I was like, yo, she has like a great reading voice. Like you need to do like audiobooks. I was like, I would listen to audiobooks. You have a great reading voice. I was like, yo, that needs to be a second business for you for sure.
Thank you.
For sure. But go check her out, guys. And we'll catch you guys on the next podcast.